Nominating Catherine for the Rising Star Award has become apparent to all of us at Middleton College just what an exceptional student we currently have in our midst. Mr. Allman, our headmaster, will later in the video be talking about Catherine's involvement with the peer mentoring group and all that that's added to life at Middleton College and the support that's been provided there. So I really want to, in this part of the video, wanted to focus on Catherine's achievements outside of Middleton College. Most recently, Catherine was successful in becoming a Girl Guide representative on the delegation of the British Youth Council. And already she's now beginning to find the connection of power and politics and how they work together, and also how the coming together of young people's voices used collectively, can bring about a positive change. Now, one of the fundamental roles that she'll be carrying out during her time as a British Youth Council delegate will be to act as a media spokesperson on a whole variety of campaigns that are being run throughout her time as a delegate. Some of these campaigns will cover diverse topics such as girls' rights internationally, tackling sexual harassment in schools, violence against young women and girls, and young people's mental health and welfare, the last being of particular interest to Katie. Now, to fulfil such a role, you really do need to have a specific skill set, which we as educators will recognise quite easily, but don't often come across in the one person. Now, already these skills are being identified within Katie as evidenced by a recent work placement that she undertook last year in Dusseldorf during the summer. And some of the people that she worked alongside, those professional colleagues, provided comments which gave a real insight into the qualities that Katie has. Introducing herself to the experienced team members from 6 different nationalities, it was gratifying to see how easily she adapted herself to our international and professional environment, commented one of her colleagues. Another said, Katie listened with an open mind, asked valid questions and challenged the status quo to bring the value to their business. Whilst another commented on that Katie was able to present creative ideas and communicate the benefits clearly. Now, to be able to do such things within a school environment where you will feel confident after a period of time is one thing, but to do this in an international business environment we've had no prior experience at all is quite exceptional, and I think really helps to highlight those qualities which make Katie our rising star this year. The skills of listening with engagement, challenging and presenting solutions creatively are exactly the skills that have allowed her to become a British Youth Council delegate, and again are exactly the skills that will help her to bring about real change in later life. As you'll see in Katie's own vlog, which was created as part of our application to the British Youth Council, she's an individual who is keen to bring about change for the better for those who feel incapable or unable to speak up for themselves.
I'm delighted to support this nomination for Katie. Katie has embraced leadership in her time at Middleton. She approached me at the start of the year and asked if it would be possible to implement a peer mentoring system. She felt that there was a gap between those students able to talk to their peers and also teachers. She felt that the gap would be reduced if those students could speak to somebody who was a peer, who understood some of the feelings they might have, or at least could listen to some of those feelings without it always seeing the need to go to a teacher who may not actually have that support network that the student was hoping for. I accepted this wholeheartedly from Katie and asked her to go and research a way of implementing it. She took a lot of time in seeing a well-planned system to be put in place. She spoke to me numerous times. She researched by speaking to Childline, the Samaritans and other organisations in a way in which she felt it would be fit for a school to implement such an initiative. The types of things that Katie did was put together a programme by which she would be able to train those members of her peer group that would like to be the peer supporters. She decided on a way that she could distinguish those who were peer supporters and those who aren't by a very nice badge that is worn by those members of her peer group. She took the time to listen, and one of the key things that I would say which really has stood out is the way that she's spoken to her members of the team about some of the issues that they might have, some of the support they might need as peer listeners, some of the support that those who are approaching the peer listener might want to achieve. She talked about the methods of how to handle a situation. She spoke about how students can approach. One example is that she might initially be approached for a chat. This might be through Microsoft Teams or through an email or through a form tutor suggesting that they need a member of the peer support to actually help. Katie then took the time to find a relevant location to talk to the individual and then to be able to actually help them in a legitimate way. This type of communication really has been important, but the whole system that Katie has put in place has made a huge difference to the pastoral care that we have at Middleton College. It's these types of initiatives that make us the type of place that we really want to be. After only 4 years of being established, this is the type of thing where we can really stand out and say, not only do our teachers, not only do the professionals in particular fields offer support, but our students offer support. I'm confident that this type of thing will continue for many years to come, and I'm very grateful to Katie. I feel it's extremely justified that she's rewarded for this hard work and that she is given a very good chance of winning this particular category. Many thanks.
Hi everyone, welcome to my vlog explaining why I think the BYC delegation should champion youth mental health. As a switchboard volunteer with Childline in North Wales and as a peer supporter manager at school, I have seen how vitally important it is to provide help and support for young minds. But I would like to do more. I want to help publicise mental health issues young people face today. I want to change the misconceptions surrounding mental health. I want to educate people so they can have access to the help they need. The discussion for change needs to begin now. I believe young women are placed under significant amounts of pressure with the creation of the perfect girl, someone who is beautiful, clever, sporty, funny, the list goes on. The introduction of social media has only increased this, with Instagram influencers and supermodels seeming to have an idealistic life that is impossible to sustain. How can any of us meet such a photoshopped life? And it's not just social media that is causing this mental health problem. The pressure of school, friends and family can often cause serious anxiety in young women, something many of my close friends have experienced. A short blog written by Carla in 2019 explains how her mental health was dismissed. Her sickness and weakness and panic attacks were described as nothing more than attention-seeking behaviour. It highlights how much work still needs to be done. I want to break down this wall of perfection and reduce the ridiculously high levels of pressure that are resulting in dramatically rising numbers of mental health disorders. A recent NHS report found young women aged 17 to 19 were twice as likely as young men to have mental health problems. This is emphasised by the statistic that 1 in 4 young women suffer from mental health illnesses. On behalf of all the young women suffering with mental health issues, I am determined to campaign for positive change. We simply cannot ignore this anymore.